The biggest thing, of course, about Onyeka Okongwu, and the thing that intrigues me most about him as a prospect, and it's probably his biggest strength, is his defensive ability. He is a great shot blocker. He averages 2.7 blocks per game. That's 3.2 per 36 at USC. It isn't just in the numbers though. When you watch him play, he is very disciplined, only fouls around 2.7 times a game, and is always engaged, which I think is important to bring up because you don't see young players like this engaged like Onyeka Okongwu is. He's also shown an ability to defend multiple positions. I believe he can effectively guard a 3-5. I think that 1 and 2, if he gets the switch on him, he can more than handle his own. Much like Bam Adebayo, this is a guy who athletically is gifted enough to defend guards if needed. I wouldn't put him on a guard full time, but if he does get a switch, it won't be that much of a problem. It isn't that much of a mismatch. It's not like the guard's going to cook him every time. He is shown that he's more than capable of doing that. He's also a great defender in the pick and roll. And overall, it says the best defensive big man in the draft. The thing I think is making him my third best player in this draft is the fact that he has such a consistent motor. He isn't a guy that takes plays off. He isn't a guy that becomes distracted easily, disengaged. He isn't distracted. He's just very disciplined as a player. He's a great rebounder as well. 8.6 rebounds per game in 30 minutes. That's 10.2 per 36. Defends really well again, and is a great player on the offensive and defensive glass. And he isn't a great shooter at all. Only took around 0.1 attempts from 3 this year, and only shot 25%. He is a good free throw shooter though. Shot 72% on 5.1 attempts. That's 6 per 36 minutes. And I think that's a telling sign that he does have a chance to grow offensively. But right now his offense is really a lot of post-ups, rim running, pick and roll, catching lobs, things like that. But he is so great defensively that I think that that's all he really needs. But I do think he does have a chance to expand on his offensive game. When it comes to weaknesses with Onyeka Okongwu, there isn't much to really be concerned about. He has some mental lapses here and there, but what young player doesn't? I guess we can talk about he's not a good 3-point shooter, especially if he wants to be like an all-NBA level big man in today's NBA. But I do think he's so great defensively that, not having a great 3-point shot won't matter at all. He has a horrible assist-to-turnover ratio, which really indicates that he's not a great playmaker. I think that's what separates him and Bam, and I think that's where the comparison stops, obviously. Defensively and scoring-wise, I think that he's very similar to Bam Adebayo, but not defensively, but playmaking-wise, I do feel like that's where they fall off, because Onyeka Okongwu's assist-to-turnover ratio is at 0.54. So, again, not a great playmaker, not a good 3-point shooter. Offensively, it's kind of limited right now, but there isn't really much not to like about him. So, I don't want to force things that aren't there on him as quote-unquote weaknesses. So, there isn't really much to say about him as far as his weaknesses go, at least for me and when I watch him play. Overall, I believe that Onyeka Okongwu is the best big man in his draft class. I believe that he has a combination of defensive ability, a good enough offensive skill set already, even if it's limited, and a consistent motor. A combination of skills you look for in a modern day big man that isn't some offensive juggernaut, while also having a consistent motor. That's just something that isn't easy to find. You can find guys who have the physical tools to be a player that isn't necessarily an offensive juggernaut, but can still be an effective big man in today's NBA coming into the draft, but a lot of them don't have the consistent motor that a guy like Onyeka Okongwu has. He's extremely athletic, he can defend multiple positions, he rebounds well, and motor is something you can't teach. You can't teach motor. It's something you just have or you don't. You can develop a better motor, you can develop a worse motor over time based off the situation, but having a consistent motor like this is just something you can't teach. And I do believe that he does have a chance to expand on his offensive game. His free throw numbers are encouraging for the fact that he does have the ability to shoot the basketball 15 feet and beyond. I believe Onyeka Okongwu has a chance to be a special kind of defensive player in the NBA, and it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I believe he's a top 3 player, obviously. Some other people don't. It's interesting to see because his range about where he can go within that top 10, because I do believe he's a lock for the top 10, but where he will go will be dependent on how the lottery works out. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. It means so much to me, guys. You guys don't understand. But again, thank you. Like and subscribe if you're new. Feel free to leave feedback in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.